Lucas, Corey Haim was poised for higher profile projects and greater Hollywood temptation.
I experimented with a lot of things, but I really stuck with
the top list, and it seemed like it made a lot of sense. Their reality series, The Two Coreys, debuted in July 2007 and lasted 2 seasons. Corey Haim was one of Hollywood's top teams. In 1994, Haim teamed up again with Corey Feldman in National Lampoon's Last Resort.
I think he was trying to really find himself as an actor. He'd kind of grown out of the teen actor role, and I think that, he
1995 and 96, Haim continued making get-ups like Demolition High and Snowboard Academy. Working.
Really the strong force that he once was. I think those were factors that really kind of put him in that dark period for a while.
In July 1996, trouble caught up with Corey again.
Because he owes this and he owes that, and he pretty much hit bottom and there was no more money.
Corey filed for bankruptcy on July 25th, 1997. He owed more than $100,000 to the IRS, $100,000 in state taxes, and a variety of medical expenses. 10 years after the Lost Boys hit, 25-year-old Corey Haim had seen his share of woes, among them an arrest, bankruptcy, and an ongoing battle with painkiller and tranquilizer abuse. The young actor warning of complete self-destruction.
Basically, OD'd one too many times.
In early 1998,
badly, and he knew that he couldn't. He finally said, you know what, enough is enough.
It was time to kind of clear his head and to get out of that type of environment that he was living in for I guess over 10 to 12 years.
Corey moved in with his father in Montreal, Canada.
I think he really feared his life, and by fearing your life, I think that really makes you want to make changes, and I think that was his reality check for himself.
Corey's dad was ill-prepared for the responsibility of care.
I learned how to accept that. I just find that's a weakness in a person. And if you can't help yourself, then go get some help.
It was a situation that just...
My dad being so high and ending up on my stomach for about 5 to 8 hours because I was going crazy, and being locked in this facility where it was not the right place for me, because I wasn't crazy. I'm just a drug addict.
Haim finally began to face his demons.
I absolutely blamed everything on my success being too quick, and all the money and all the cars and all the movies and all the chicks, and my personal life as well. My parents, why did you put me in this at such a young age? Look what it did to me, you guys did this to me, and, Hollywood is so messed up. I mean, look what it did to me, with all this money and stuff. And
this would never happen. I would totally keep him in school. I wouldn't give the advice.
Proved to be too much.
Unfortunately, it's, the type of problems that he had were not ones that could just go away like that. I do know that there was probably times where it was kind of, a few months good, a couple of months that he would slip up.
During the late 1990s, Corey made occasional visits to Los Angeles. In mid-1999, Corey dated Playboy playmate Sire for a brief period, but drugs got in the way. In an August 2001 article in the New York Post saying, "He threw me into a car door, and I had to drive myself to the hospital and get 5 stitches. I wrote him a problem, and he was obsessed with me." Haim left the Betty Ford Center after 1 week. Then on October 25th, 1999, Corey went to pawnbrokers in Hollywood. Shop owner Julian Blue.
I recognized him right away from the movie Lost Boys, and Lucas. He brought in the ring and said that he wanted to pawn it for a few dollars so he can get to the pharmacy right away. The ring is worth about $300, and he asked for a little bit of money, so I offered him $65, and he agreed. The walls aimlessly, and seemed really high.
About half an hour later, Haim returned to the pawn shop.
The saddest part of all, the one that really broke my heart, was when he came here afterwards, completely broke, and practically begged for $3 to buy a slice of pizza after he was getting $300,000 a shot for his movies.
Corey returned to Canada and continued to struggle with his sobriety.
Painkillers are probably among the toughest drugs to get off and stay off. Most people don't start into recovery and do it perfectly. Relapses, but that doesn't mean people have failed. It means that
And began to get more job offers. In early 2000, Haim began filming a low-budget Canadian film called Without Malice, starring Jennifer Beals. Corey received another break when friend and first-time director Francois Garcia tailored his independent film, Universal.
I wanted to have that, make that transition from teenager to adult.
Hey, wait. It's a Candy King connection. So, you know, if you want, I can try to hook you up with them if you're interested, you know?
nah, I had candy for breakfast.
Here, man. You dog.
By early 2001, with several months of sobriety under his belt, Corey was anxious to move forward with his career.
I asked Corey a very good question. You have a dream. Yes. What is your dream, Corey? I want to win an Academy Award. So I started laughing. I said, of all the dreams that you picked, this is the only one that's doable for you. But it can't be done in Montreal. You get your rear end back to LA and start at the top floor and say, hi, I'm Corey Haim. I want to go back to work. I've been a naughty little boy, but I'm a good boy now.
Haim returned to Los Angeles in April 2001. Friends and family had mixed feelings.
I was very confident in him going back to kind of renew his.
I think it was a concern for people, you know, going back to LA, going back to sort of those old friends and old patterns, I guess. At the same time, you can't.
Former teen superstar. In July 2001, Haim met with E! Entertainment Television and discussed his early career, including a TV commercial he did as a child. His comments were close to incomprehensible.
One was for, and it was below zero. I mean, you know, Toronto. I said, get it now. Why again? Da-da-da.
2 weeks later,
That's it.
Haim also said he was taking muscle relaxers that a doctor prescribed for a neck injury. In late July 2001, Haim's dependence on prescription drugs caught the attention of friend Corey Feldman, himself no stranger to rehab.
I did take him to Cry Help, which is the place that I went through, and tried to get him in there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him.
It's been a battle, an absolute battle.
At age 29, Corey Haim shared a sparsely furnished guest house in Los Angeles with his mother. Haim had no means of transportation and barely money for food and clothing. Corey continued to
An everyday challenge, because sometimes I will get in my mood where I itch, of course. After 16, 17 years, I will itch.
In September 2001, Haim admitted himself to a Los Angeles rehab facility.
Anybody you would talk to in AA or NA or any of those 12-step programs will pretty much tell you that you don't give up hope until somebody stops breathing.
According to Corey Haim, he was more committed than ever to staying clean and rebuilding his life.
I'm taking it, I'm working on me. That's exactly what I'm doing. And getting better and better every day. You know, yesterday I woke up and I was like, wow, you know, what a great sleep, and had juice and just did normal stuff. I didn't have to run into like a medicine cabinet.
By 2004, Corey insisted that he had finally kicked drugs for good. But there was a downside. He then packed after getting clean and sober. Corey's weight ballooned to 302 pounds. Again, he seemed out of control. Haim battled back with diet and exercise. He shed more than 100 pounds in less than a year. Then Corey got another shot at stardom.
I was thinking about a format that was based off of something that was actually happening in my own life. That was funny and I thought would make for interesting fodder for a reality TV show. And I was going through a list of names of people that odd couple type relationship. And after going through a bunch, you know, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim went to the top of the list, and it seemed like it made a lot of sense.
Corey Haim was one of Hollywood's top teen idols during the 1980s. His talent and boyish good looks brought fame, fortune, and a future that looked limitless. But paramedics were unable to revive him. Corey Haim was pronounced dead at a Burbank hospital. He was 38, buried in his native Toronto in a private ceremony. On May 4th, the Los Angeles County coroner announced that Haim's death was caused by pneumonia and a bad heart. Although prescription medications were found in his system, an autopsy determined drugs did not cause Corey's death.
What a lot of people don't know about him is Corey Haim would give you the shirt off his back. I think he would be really proud about the support that's coming out right now, all the love and adoration. I think he'd be greatly appreciative of that. He'd want to be remembered as a great actor.